Okay, welcome to first video of LeetCode and talk. This is just for accountability and yeah. So I'm gonna be walking through a problem. This first one I kind of know the answer because I've done it before, but tried to do it earlier off before recording too. I was getting stuck, but I'm just gonna record it now. But let's start with the brute force one. So let's comment what we want to do. So this first case is not that good because it's 2 plus 7 already equals 9. So we could use a second example. Let's start from 3, and then we want to go to the next one. So 3 plus 2 is not 6. So we stick with 3, move this, go in the next loop here. 3 plus 4, also not 6. So we exit that loop or iterate to the next number in that loop, which is 2. And then 2 plus 4 is 6. So we return those indices, which is 1 and then 2. So let's code that out. So in range lane nums, and then that's our first loop for j in range. And then we don't need to iterate through the whole thing because once we seen 3, we added it to everything after. Or let's say this example we want 13. So we go to, or we don't want, we want let's say 18. If we go 2 plus 7, blah blah blah, none of that's 18. So then we go to the next one. But so 7, we don't need to check 2 again because 2 plus 7 was already added. But then 2 plus 11, that's 18. In the range function, it goes start. So we want to start from the indice of where I is, and then the next one. So that's plus 1. And then we want to do same for in the range of nums. Is it length of nums or is just... we'll stick with that. Could be wrong though. Okay. So now we want to check if num I plus num j equals target. And if that is true, we return I and we return j. And then what else? If none of that returns anything, we return an empty bracket. Okay, that works. I already submitted, so I don't need to submit that. Let's go with the more efficient solution. The purpose of these videos is to help talk through solutions, but also come up with solutions. Unfortunately, I kind of know this solution, so it'll just be me talking through any debugging errors, and just talking through the process of the solution, of my understanding of it. But in the future, hopefully, I could be solving problems that I don't know. But this is just to get in the flow of doing LeetCode more often because I suck at it. And this is an easy problem too, and everyone knows it. Okay, so we want to not iterate through each one twice. So how can we iterate only once? So if we iterate once over we can't go back through another loop to compare it, because that would be O n squared. But a hash table lookup time is O of 1. So what we could do is we iterate through this array or list, and then we add it to the hash table as we go through it, and then we can look up a number in O of 1 time, which will mean the solution would be O of n, because we only iterate through once. Let's go through this example. Oops. Let's walk through this one. Let's do target equal 18, because the first one is already 9, so that's not helpful. So we go through 2, and we want to add this. We want to check if how will we look through a hash table. We want to take the complement, because the complement would be 18 minus 2, and that is 16. So we want to be looking for 16 when we see 2. So we look for 2, and we see that 2 has not been entered into the hash table. So we just we will put that into our dictionary or hash table. So 2 will be entered in to hash, and then at the same, or before that, we looked for 16. We saw 16 was not in the hash, so we go to 7. So now we go 18 minus 7. That's 11, and that is 11 is not in the hash. So we go to the next step, which would be to check if 7, or to add 7 into the hash. And then next one is 11. So we go 18 minus 11 equals 7, and we go to the hash, and we see that 7 is in there. So we want to, so we found that 7 and 18, or 7 and 11 is 18. So we want to return those indices. So we will return the hashed function or the hashed indice first, because we're going down a line. So that will always be first. So we return the hash indice, and then where we are right now, and then that is our answer. So let's create our dictionary, and then we want to, for I in range lane nums I. Okay. For in this range, we wanna get the complement, or whatever left over, equals the target minus where we are right now. And our next step is to check if that number is in the hash. So if left over is in seen, we want to return seen, and then the leftover, and then where we are right now, which is I. Else, we want to we want to add where we are. So scene at where we are right now is equal to this indency at I. And then if for some reason there's nothing, we return nothing. And oh, oh, I don't need that. Just range it. Okay. For init range nums. Oh. Okay. Correct. Submit again. Yay. Okay, that is the first video. Hopefully I could be solving more tomorrow. I'll probably also be solving more problems that I have already solved before just to talk through it. And then when I get more comfortable with talking through problems I've already kind of know. I haven't actually done LeetCode in a while, so I actually might not know the answer. And syntax is really hard. So videos might get longer since this was a relatively easy problem. But hopefully I could be solving problems I don't know and then walking through my steps through that. This is just accountability, but yeah, thanks for watching.